Okay. Hello, everyone. This is the Working Group Comms meeting for the 11th of September. This is a CNCF meeting, so we'll follow the CNCF Code of Conduct, which can be summarized as just being nice to everyone. And this is being recorded for upload to YouTube, so we'll be careful about what we say. I am hopefully sharing my screen. Yes, and this is the notes for today. I've also sent it in the chat, so if you want to just add yourself as attendees. Um, I know everyone here already, so I'll skip straight through uh, welcoming any new people. Current issues I'll skip as well because I have plans for that later. I don't think we have anyone here from Sustainability Week, not particularly. Um, not the chairs anyway. Um, Valerie, you're helping to run the Milan one, right?
Yep, it's
Awesome.
one of the 1,000 things I'm working on right now. Yeah, things are going on pretty good. I left a comment on the tracking issue because Nancy wrote to have some updates. But yeah, things are going on. We close the call for paper and we are working on the agenda. We plan to have an in-person meetup and the week later an online meeting. So we have a double event for all those people who can come to Milan. And yeah, yeah. So we are now sharing as much as possible. We created the events on the Meetup platform, um, and yeah, we would like to share the link for the in-person event as well as the online event. Um, and yes, basically we are at that point, but things
Mhm.
are going pretty good.
Yeah, so today I went through a bunch of the issues for Sustainability Week just to check how that's doing from a comms perspective. And I believe Nancy's been working on that fine, along with the other co chairs. So everything's ticking along. There are a couple of meetups that maybe are a little far behind, one of which is the one that I'm helping with. We're just a bit behind, but that should all be fine. And Nancy knows to reach out if there is any specific comms help. Obviously, for next year as well, we're still keeping in mind maybe spinning up next year's as part of the working group so that there's more direct links and more help. But it's been really good to see how that works this year. Okay, and then open discussion stuff, I've added a bunch of bits and bobs. Um, so obviously the rename update from 2 weeks ago that we discussed, I've just gone through and kind of I've made an issue to track that and scoped out, how much work it will be. I think that would have to be a collaborative effort because obviously the name Working Group Comms is kind of dotted around in quite a few places. Um, I can't get the issue right now, but I will share that afterwards so that we can add any more places that we notice. And we've pretty much decided that we're going to move on with doing that so people can start to pick up those actions and help out basically whenever you see something that we can change and just a collaborative effort to try and make those changes. The only thing I needed to confirm was the exact name because I can't remember, uh, but that's in the ticket, so that's fine. um, the next thing is I wanted to now that I'm also because I've also been really busy, now that I'm a bit more around and we're starting to look at having leadership roles get filled, I'd like to schedule one of the upcoming meetings as kind of an issue review. I started to do that today anyway. A lot of them are old, a lot of them are in progress. Things need updates, things need closing, things need making more modern, right? And then we can start to allocate some actual work and distribute that a bit easier. Now we have a more recurring number of people helping us. Um, Equally, I think that would be a good opportunity to think about a roadmap of what we want to do in light of the kind of concept of sustainability advocacy, right? There are blog post that we could do, or we could aim to have XYZ thing done. There are a couple things that I wanted to get done, which are those kind of open issues down here anyway. An events calendar, roles, drafts, etc. Um, Now that we're getting to be a more established working group, maybe we can have projects that we want to spin up and have slightly more as like the things that we're trying to achieve. But I think that would be good to dedicate an actual session to that, as opposed to doing a normal working group comms meeting as well. That would be good. Um, I think it would be maybe a good opportunity after the nomination processes for whatever technical leadership and chairs leadership and all the different things that are happening occurs. So I'd expect that to be in the next, maybe not the next one, but the week after's. What? No, how many weeks? Like in a month's time ish, I think. I don't know, because of the every other week thing not actually being entirely true if we get a 5 week month. um, That should be good. Yes, and then I've added this note, which is essentially having now evaluated the roles. I think it would be really good if each of the roles, or maybe just whoever can help, um, would have a kind of document with basic information on it and links to things. Even I myself keep losing things essentially. Where is the link to the drive? Where is the link to the this? Where is the link to the that? I've mentioned it before. We already have it for the social media stuff because Christina made one. But I haven't actually had the time or the impetus to actually make the ones for other roles. I think that would be good. I can make a bunch of issues for each of those, and then people could pick those up. That would be awesome. Mm, and actually, I will make a note of that now. Okay. Yep. Okay. So that's basically all of the bits and bobs, unless anyone had any comments on that. The biggest part of today's meeting is that we need some help finishing some things. So if people wanted to help out, there are specific issues that are kind of open. One of those is an events calendar. So we'd need maybe I don't know, like a spreadsheet or a document or just something basic creating in the drive. Um, my goal for this open issues for assignment is less for one person to say, yes, I'm going to do all these things, but I think I need some help with people like driving those things. So making sure they get done, right? Other than just myself, that would be amazing. Um, like the finishing of the roles drafts, I've kind of worked on that with Valeria anyway. It's just a case of like finishing it up. The rename as well is going to require some kind of driving, evaluating what we have and what needs changing and making sure that each of those things happens. Um, the links document per lead as well. I've just made a note to make an issue for that because that doesn't exist. Mm, Yeah, unfortunately, we don't. Not everyone necessarily like that can help out joins the meetings. So I think my suggestion would be I will grab the issues and the links and what have you and send those into Slack, and then people that want to help out know that they exist and can put their names on them. I think that would be the easiest thing to do, unless anybody in this call has one that they want to immediately say, yeah, I can help with that. um, Otherwise I'll.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea because then people who are not in these meetings can actually see maybe concrete tasks where the help is needed. Maybe
Hmm.
some some people I can imagine maybe would reach out faster if they see something, a list, rather than an encouragement to go to GitHub and scroll through all the issues we have. So maybe if we can test out
Yeah.
some concrete items as part of the post, maybe that will get people to reach out a
Hmm.
bit more. So I agree with that. And with
Yeah.
regards to the events calendar, it kind of, in a way, it's a little bit related to the automation, I guess, that we're doing for the Green Scraper project.
Yeah,
Um,
the way that I was envisioning it is kind of from this working group's perspective. What are the things? Because I know that I get lost when there's like when exactly QCon is. So it's like in November we need to be thinking about this
All
thing
right.
and that kind of thing,
I
which I
see.
think could be
And it makes
helpful.
sense to.
Sustainability Week is usually around October, so and
Yeah.
maybe we start thinking about planning it in whenever that might be, etc. Just give a bit more guidance, I think.
Also, an event calendar would maybe with adding the information about, for example, cover papers and things like that, will help to maybe also organize or I read sometimes on Slack like are we going to participate or submit a proposal about what we do in the tag. So I think that it will also help about that.
Exactly. And I think the concrete tasks will help as well because even myself, I looked through all of the issues and found these things today. And I think that will be, um, that's a lot of effort sometimes. So hopefully, yeah, now that I'm in a position where I can actually review what tasks can be done, that would be helpful. Um, I actually also have, for instance, I started making I just made a copy of the template for the booth PowerPoint for KubeCon NA, but I lost the link to where I can where I can put it in the drive. So I need to move that into the right place. Those kind of the small things of that I was thinking about from this links document perspective. Um, that kind of sorry the like help guide for people doing things because I can imagine an events lead kind of helping with those things. So um, whilst I have you here as well. I can't remember. I've written here rebrand to sustainability advocacy. Do we want that to be working group sustainability advocacy or working group? And this is a bit wordy, so I do have a preference, but working group environmental sustainability advocacy. Um, I think because it's under the tag anyway, my preference would be just sustainability advocacy. Otherwise, it's a lot of words. But
Yeah, I vote for that too. I was reading the issue,
uh-huh.
and I vote for working group sustainability advocacy.
Okay, that's good. I didn't want to make too much of a unilateral decision on that one, but I have a strong opinion. So,
I think
If
that's a
that's
nice
just
name.
too long, the working group environmental sustainability advocacy, yeah, that's a lot.
well, technically, we could be the Cloud Native Computing Foundation Technical Advisory Group for Environmental Sustainability's Working Group, Environmental
Oh my
Sustainability
God.
Advocacy.
Oh no.
You're right. If we are to follow the full chain of. Yeah.
That's what we're going to yell at the next time we do a video clip.
If we want to create stickers or things like that, we would need big stickers.
Yeah. Okay, in which case, is there anything else that anyone had to discuss? I think the chair and leadership stuff I'm working on anyway, and that will be coming up very soon. Mm. Yes, Leo, I saw your message about mentioning in Slack that we're thinking about changing the name. I think I mentioned it at some point from like a perspective of just briefly mentioning it, but I will more concretely say that we're doing this thing before we make changes. And now I have an issue for it, so I can link to that. Anything else? Cool. Yeah. Highlighting it to the TOC, is that something that you would be able to handle, Leo, or direct me to how we need to highlight that?
Yeah, we can just hack or maybe just message them. We have like a channel
Okay.
just forward the issue.
Okay, yeah, that's fine then. I'll make a note.
I have a question. regarding two things. First, the user story project. So this, we talked about this like for quite some time now, and if I remember correctly, the idea was also to link this to this working group, and the other one was the landscape document.
From the user stories perspective, we talked about that the last meeting. I'm still debating whether we should. I think my plan going forwards after that review meeting for the issues and stuff and the projects and the roadmap would be to consider a section of the meeting which gives an opportunity for those projects. Obviously, we have them feedback in the normal tag as well, but I think a lot more of the activities could actually be under this working group and therefore kind of drive the meetings. Um, the landscape document, I know the plan for. I know what we've discussed. I know about the kind of yearly update type thing. But I haven't heard anything about it. Um, and I haven't seen the issues be updated or anything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No worries. Yeah. About the landscape document, we need to think about because the TUC also opened up an issue a couple of weeks ago that, and there should be like an end of the year report from every tag about or what is going on and so on. And this, I don't know, then they look at all the reports and then think about what makes sense. Is there like a tag where not so much traffic is and so on and so forth? So maybe we need to think about the landscape document a bit more. But yeah, would be nice to see some user stories getting started, maybe around CERN or other places. But I don't know like how we would like to do it if we just open up like a project proposal, write something about the user story, or just write like a blog post. But this can, I mean, we can do this like 100 different ways, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's whatever we want to do to start with, and then we can reevaluate if that's working. Um, from the landscape document perspective, we can, I guess, reach out to the project leads and see if we can get an update on that and maybe more help from the working group to kind of make it work for what we need it to as well. Okay. Okay, cool. Anything else from anyone? Okay. If not, then I will end the meeting. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Let me...
Thanks, Claire.
No worries.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.